Hey, it's Fletch. I'm Vice President of Public Safety Solutions at 911 Inform and a proud iCERT member. Welcome to the April 2022 member update with George Kelemen, Executive Director of iCERT.
Hey, Fletch. Good afternoon. Great to be with you today.
Yeah, absolutely. So April's been an exciting month. There's been a ton of stuff going on.
Yeah, there has been. And I think as most folks that are probably going to view this video know, April is 911 Education Month. And within the month of April, we also had National Telecommunicators Week a couple of weeks ago. So it's been a great time to focus on the importance of 911 and help the greater public understand and remember how important and critical 911 is in their lives and in their communities, while also recognizing and honoring the thousands of men and women out there who are telecommunicators and 911 professionals that are the folks that are the first responders, if you will, that field those calls and send aid and emergency services your way when you're in a crisis.
Yeah, and there's a lot of work going on in Washington to get that reclassification through. Several states have done it on a state level, but there's work that's going to get that done on a federal level, something that's absolutely needed out there. You know, speaking of Washington, there's a 911 funding issue that's also critical that's going on. What's iCERT doing around the funding issue, George?
Well, we're doing a lot. I mean, we're actively engaged on the lobbying effort to work to secure funding for NG911 deployment across the country. And actually, you know, the month of April being 911 Education Month has provided an opportunity to also remind policymakers and lawmakers here in Washington that needs to be done. It needs to be a national priority, and the focus and the effort needs to be placed on making sure that we fund NG911, next generation 911, across the country, so every community has the benefits of the broadband that all of us take for granted in our everyday lives with our phones when we need it in an emergency situation and we call 911. So those telecommunicators, it makes their job that much easier and that much faster in terms of helping us with our emergency, understanding who to send our way, knowing exactly where we are, and perhaps even receiving critical data and images from the person that might have the emergency or someone that's assisting them.
Yeah, and that all happens through the FirstNet infrastructure. And, you know, that, by the way, celebrating 10 years in existence. And when FirstNet was first formed, you know, that wasn't free either. And what the FCC did was they reached out into some auction monies that were collected to fund FirstNet. And Chairwoman Rosenworcel has come up with a brand new idea to potentially fund next generation 911 through some auction and spectrum auctions.
That's right. She's recently made quite a few comments and harkened back to the model that was used in creating FirstNet to perhaps do this with getting NG911 deployed across the country as well. And like you pointed out, using proceeds from spectrum auctions. And so it's definitely something that we as an industry are very, very supportive of, and we've indicated that. And I think everyone across the 911 ecosystem is very supportive. So I think all of us are actively working on trying to see what we can do to help that path perhaps open up to get to the end goal, which is full deployment and full funding for NG911 across the country.
Now, a little birdie told me, I don't know if this is true or not, but somebody told me that Chairwoman Rosenworcel may just make a little bit of an appearance at our member meeting that's coming up out in Seattle.
Well, hey, thanks for teeing up the plug on the member meeting there. But that's right. iCERT's spring member meeting is going to be taking place May 17th and 18th out in Seattle at Amazon's headquarters. And you're right, Chairwoman Rosenworcel is going to be providing some remarks to our assembled group. So we look forward to hearing what she has to say and to speaking directly to the industry community. But in addition, we've got a great program lined up over the day and a half, featuring a whole host of very informative and innovative panel sessions that run the gamut of issues that all of the 911 vendor community deals with on a day-to-day basis. So if you're an iCERT member and you haven't registered and you see this, go to our website, theindustry.org and theindustrycouncil.org, and we will get you signed up. There's an easy way to get signed up there. If you're not an iCERT member and you're interested in learning more, please, again, go to our website, theindustrycouncil.org, reach out to us, and we will happily look to see if we can get you to come out to Seattle and have you there as our guest.
That's great. Now you didn't tell her that I was going to be doing some emceeing out there at that conference.
No,
right?
no, I didn't, and I think
That's pretty smart.
I think we would have gotten a hard no if that had been the case. So, well, let's just keep it quiet for now.
Yeah,
and let it be a
hush, hush.
surprise.
George, thanks so much for sitting down. So I think these monthly member updates are really well received by our membership community, and it lets people know what iCERT is and what we're doing, and we're not just some organization out there in the background. We're really working very hard with a lot of different people on a lot of important topics that are out there.
Absolutely, you're right, and I think the member meeting coming up here in a few weeks is going to reflect that. So look forward to being able to report back on that during the May update.
Fantastic. Well, thanks very much once again. Looking forward to talking to you next month.
Sounds great. Thanks, Fletch.
All right.